Hey, 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 welcome back. We are just going to kick off straight again into some spawning, which is the exciting part. So, something I've got to mention before, but a lot of this game is going to be actually be procedurally generated. So, it's going to be a root and a toot for anyone who's playing. Sorry. Anyway, I'll continue to do some coding now. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our scripts folder. And we're going to create a new C# script called object underscore spawner. I'll just make sure I spelled that right. Yep. Open up that. Now I've got a fair few scripts open now. Okay, cool. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to create an array. So an array is like a group of similar objects. It's like, yeah, basically a group. So instead of declaring like, you know, one variable, two variable, like game object 1, game object 2, game object 3, you can just declare an array. So what we're going to do is public game object, and then to make an array, you just do the square bracket straight after, and then we're going to call that coins. Awesome. We're going to get rid of start, and inside update we're going to, another thing that we need to create is a private coin spawn timer, and we'll have that equal to 7.0f. Coins one time. Sorry, private float coins one time. Man, it is late where I'm at. Anyway, well, not really, but I've been up all night. Anyway, next thing is we are going to, in the update method, we're going to say coin spawn timer minus equals time dot delta time. So that's basically just a simple countdown timer that'll work very well for our services. And then we're going to have an if statement. If coin spawn timer is less than 0.01, then we're going to spawn coins. So that's just creating the method there. And down here, past update, we're going to create a void spawn coins. Okay. So if we have less than 0.1, it'll go straight to spawn coins. And in spawn coins, we're going to instantiate coins, and from the array, and we're going to create in the array of coins, so there might be like 10 objects, we're going to instantiate one at, we're going to instantiate a certain number. So like instantiate means basically create on the fly. So what we're doing here is we're saying, okay, instantiate number 3 or number 2, but instead of explicitly saying number 1, number 2, number 3, or whichever one, we're actually going to let the computer decide. So how we do that is we say random.range, and then we do another open brackets 0, which is like it starts at 0. Choose a minimum int and a maximum int, and the maximum will be coins. I don't know why it's doing that. Dot length. Awesome. Then 2 of them. Chuck another bracket. Then we want to do that at a new. So this is just choosing, we're instantiating one of the game objects in this array. So just bear with me here, it does get a bit complicated. And then we're doing that, we're translating them at a new vector 3, which will be player dot player. We actually haven't created that variable yet. Player dot transform dot position dot x plus 30. What I'm just going to do is zoom out. Hope you guys can see that. We might as well create the variable here. Public game object player. So that's that variable there. And then we alright, so we've instantiated it now at a new vector, which is the x position is at the player's transform dot position dot x plus 30. So whatever the position of the player is, add 30 onto that on the x-axis. I know it's confusing, but just bear with me. And then for the height, we're going to do, now it's going to ask for a float y. We're going to do the same thing as we did before, random dot range, and we're going to say between 1 and 8. So this will mean they're anywhere up in the air. And then, actually, let's make it 2 and 8. 2 and 8. And this should be a capital, I think. Yeah. 2 and 8. And then we want to do 0 because we don't want it to move at all on the z-axis. And then we want to display a rotation, and we just want it to be whatever the prefab is at. So quaternion dot identity basically just says whatever the rotation is on the prefab is what it'll come out at. Alright, sweet. So that's one long ass command, but just to break it down, we're instantiating, which means you're telling the computer to create. We're creating a random coin out of the coins game object array. We're choosing one of those coins in that array with a random range function that goes between 0 and however long the array length is. Then we choose the position, which is the new vector 3, which will be at the exact same position as the player but plus 30 on the x-axis. Then a random position between 2 and 8 on the y-axis, that means that's up and down, and then 0 on the z-axis, so the player will be able to collide with them no matter what. And then at just your average rotation. Cool. Alright, and then the next line is coin spawn timer. So we've got to set this back. But instead of setting it back to just 7.0f, we want to add a little bit more variety into our game. So to do that, once again, the random range function. So random.range 1.0f. So this between 1 second and 3.0f and 3 seconds. So that means that coins will be popping up between 1 and 3 seconds after they initially spawn. So at least every 3 seconds you'll see there will be some coins somewhere. Awesome, let's give that a crack. So go back into the game, let's see if it's thrown any exceptions. And it hasn't. Jeez, I am a fantastic programmer. Not really. Alright, go to game object and create it empty, and we're going to create a object which is going to be at 0, 0, 0, and we're going to call this scripts. Do __ it just helps it, well, you don't have to, but it just helps it help being able to find it in the scene. I just like to do that because it stupid. Sorry. Cool. So I usually like to put this at the top as well, and it's all zeroed out just because a bit of OCD there. And then we want to add that object spawner script. So you'll notice that it's asking for a player. So we're just going to click and drag the player over to there. So Our player, yep, game objects are over there. And the coins, well, how many do we have? Let's look at prefabs. Prefabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 different things. So we say 6. Press enter, and then we can just go ahead and go plomp. 1, 2, 3, number 4, number 5. Alright, ready to rock and roll. And let's see if this bad boy works out. Now, if I did that right, we should have some, in 7 seconds, we should have some coins appear. Oh, yep, there's some up there. Oh, there's some there. It's awesome because you can see because of the shadows. Now, just imagine this with cool music. Awesome. So coming on our way. Now the game still looks like hot ass, but not like in a good way, because sometimes ass is good. But this game, yeah, right now it just looks like a piece, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Just bear with us. Awesome. So now we actually arguably have a little bit of a game now where you can play the game and you actually have an incentive to keep doing things. Awesome. Let's keep going. Okay, on to the enemies. Now, let us create an enemy. So we are going to create a cube. We're going to zero out the cube. We're going to call the cube enemy. Oh. Enemy. Looking good, looking good. Let's go to material. Let's create a new material. Call it enemy. We'll make this just a red. Sweet. Click and drag that material over to the materials section. Oh, sorry, that's physics material. We want this material. Awesome. Let's bring it up a little bit. Cool. Sweet. So that will be our enemy at this stage. Alright, let's get to it. So back to our prefabs. Let's create the enemy there, and go back to our spawn object spawner script. So what we want to do is we want to create 2 things. First, private float enemy spawn timer equals 10.0f. Cool. And we also want to create another public game object enemies. Ooh. Awesome. Now this one's going to be a little different, but that's alright. We want to do enemy spawn timer minus equals time dot delta time. Cool. We want to do the same thing here as we did before, so we can just copy that and then drop it down, paste, and we can say enemy spawn timer and spawn enemy. So you spawn enemies. What does I spawn enemy? Spawn enemy, and then under spawn coins or on top doesn't matter. But anyway, enemy. Spawn enemy. Alrighty. that looks good. I might just clean up my code a little bit. Okay, so in spawn enemy, what we're going to do is we're going to say enemy. Actually, this is annoying me. It's not enemies, it's enemy. We're going to say enemy dot transform dot local scale. Well, so what we're going to do is the enemies are going to be different sizes, different shapes, and that's going to add a bit more juiciness to the game, which will be awesome. So we're going to do that new vector. Vector 3. Random dot range. Let's do 1. Ooh, let's push the limits 1 to 4. Let's do 5. Cool. Hang on a sec. Sorry, guys. Where was that? Here we go. And then the y-axis random dot range 1 to 4 or 5, not 1 to 5, and then the z random dot range 1 to 5. Alright, end that. Alright. Oops. Sorry, and another one. Okie dokie. I want to zoom in. Just so everyone just is aware. Enemy. So we're getting this enemy game object transformed to local scale. So we're actually changing the scale of it before anything's even happened, and we're changing it to a random range on the X, a random range on the Y, and a random range on the Z. That's all that line of code is doing. Then we are going to instantiate it. So instantiate enemy, add a new vector 3, and I think I'll just type it out. Player player. Why isn't it coming up with that one? Player dot transform dot position x plus 20. Then the y position. So we want random dot range. Bring that along. Sorry guys, just the random range, and we want that to be 1 to 9, and then we want it to be the next we want on the Z, we will always want it to be 0 on the Z, so it's always on one line, and then and then we want to do Quaternion dot identity, which just returns it to the same rotation. Alright, sorry, I confused myself there. Alright, I think that is it. And then we want to go, we just want to reset the timer again. My mono developer is actually very strange. Enemy spawn timer equals random dot range, and we'll say 1 to 3 seconds. Awesome. Cool. Let's give that a test. So over in the scripts. My game seems to be bugging out a bit, and I'm just going to save it. If Unity ever starts acting weird on you, or mono develop, just start saving stuff a bit more, because there's a good chance it's going to crash. Alright, let's get the enemy prefab and chuck it in there. Let's delete the enemy prefab from there and let's see it in action. So nothing will happen when the enemies touch us at this stage, but they should be at random sizes. So there's our coins. There's one. There's another. Ooh, there's another. Ooh, there's another. They're getting spawned a little bit too close to the playoff. Let's say plus 30. Yeah, I think that'll be better. See how that looks. Woohoo, a coin. Woohoo, some more coins. Oh. Alright, so the cubes are coming in nicely. So I would have died then if we actually had stuff on. Awesome. Alright, first things last. So let's go back to our code. And the code right now is working hunky-dory. Cool. So next thing will be we're going to go back to player collision script, and we're going to create a new method, void on collision, and enter collision. So instead of this one deals with triggers, this one deals with collisions. So we can write if col.gameObject.tag equals enemy, then player dies. Cool, and then we come down to here and go void player dies, and just the old neaten up of the code. Down to where player dies, and a few things we want to do here. Play death audio. Save data. Save score, I should say. These are all things we'll do later. Activate UI for restarting game. And then we can do a few things. But right now all we're going to do is we're just going to do something. We're just going to say application.load load level. Application.load level. Orange call main. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. We need to go to the prefabs, get the enemy. We need to change his tag to. We need to create our own tag. Go to tags, click the plus button as we did before. Enemy. Jump out of it. Get back to enemy, and there we go. So if I'm correct, when we touch a red cube, the level will restart. There we go, and the level restarted. Awesome. In the end product, we'll obviously have a restart button and a final score and things like that. But just for now, that works perfectly fine. Okay, I think on the enemy, it would be really nice to have a rotate. Rotate object. Ooh. And let's make it rotate at some crazy one, 2000. How about we just quickly check that off. Chuck that there. And we'll say 2000. Let's see how fast that is. Ooh, I want it faster. So they're all starting to spawn now. I think 12. What does 900 look like? You have to, I think, start again. 100. Oh, 100. I think we're gonna. I think 1200 might be the go. Perfect. So 1200. Actually, but because the enemies can reverse it. So it's going anti-clockwise. Yeah, that's what we want. Awesome. So now we can just delete the enemy and let's play the game. Let's see what it's like. Let's maximize on play. It might be a bit laggy. Like I said, I'm on an old computer. This start part's a bit boring. We will fix that up. Ding. Oh, it's probably a bit too fast. Oh, yeah, definitely too fast. And I think they're probably a little big. I'm going to fix that last little thing. I'm going to change them from spawning from 1 to 5 to 1 to 3.5 and 1 to, oh, need to put F there, 1.3.5 F there. So you can adjust that however you like, but I won't spend any more time on just fine adjustments like that. I might do that just in between actual sessions, but you get the idea. You can adjust. This is where game design comes into it, because you adjust things to how you feel. It died. Yeah, that's a bit cool. Awesome. Okay, well, join us next time as we talk about saving data and things like that. See you guys.